Geometry Notes 7.4 Part 1. Go ahead and work on the first two problems. We are trying to solve for x, so what we need to do is get them equal to 0 and factor. And then go ahead and work on 3 and 4. These are involving the similar triangles. So go ahead and do 1 through 4, pause the video, and then you can come back to check your answers. All right, so number 1, you can factor those out. Remember, you got to subtract the 4x and subtract the 2. So you should end up getting factors of x minus 9 and x minus 1. So then your answers would be x equals 9 and 1. My stylist is having trouble working a little bit today, so I apologize for the not great handwriting. Here we go, number 2. Again, subtract the x, so negative 3x minus 1x would be negative 4x. Subtract the 12, negative 12. Break it down. What multiplies by 12 has a difference of 4, 6, and 2. So the bigger one's got to be the negative minus 6 plus 2. So then your answers are 6 and negative 2. So always change that sign there. All right, on to the review problems. So remember, you want to use those similar triangles. We're going to use the side of the first triangle, 12, over the side of the whole triangle, 18. So that's why we have 12 over 18 here. It helps to redraw them out to the side. 12 over 18 equals, and then the other side's x plus 8 over. Now to find what that whole side would be, since it was x plus 8 plus 7, just be x plus 15. So if you cross multiply and solve, it should have been x equals 6. For y, that one's a little bit easier. 12 over 18 equals y over 10. Just be careful if you got an answer of 20, you probably forgot to add the 12 and 6, and you probably just put 6. And then you said y is 20, but y should actually be smaller than 10. So 6.6 repeating. All right, number 4, this one had 3 similar triangles. You had an example like that on your homework yesterday. So we can put 3 over 4 equals x over 5. And then that figures out what x is, 3.75. Now again, use that middle triangle to find the big triangle. So go 4 over 10 equals 5 over y. 5 over y equals 4 over 10. Cross multiply, y is 12.5. All right, on to the new lesson for today. So we are still on page 19 at the bottom. Okay, here we go. So we are looking at corresponding parts of similar triangles. Now we talked about a little bit of this during the construction unit, altitudes, angle bisectors, and medians, but we have not went real in depth with it. But as long as you have like the same markings on both pictures and we know they're similar, you can set them equal or proportional. So for example, this one is talking about the altitude. That's the height of the triangle. So what I can do is I can put whatever that length is, we're just going to call it BD for now, over the height of the other triangle if these triangles are similar, and then put them proportional to any pairs of the sides. So we can say AB over FE. Or we could have said BC over FG. Okay, same with the angle bisector. Angle bisector is just cutting that angle right in half. So if I have QS over UW, that's going to be proportional to, again, just pick any pairs of sides. I could pick this side this time, QR and UV. So just pick corresponding sides. And then finally, the medians. Medians, what that does is start at the vertex opposite and then goes to the midpoint. So the median over the median, so we go HJ over LN would be proportional to, again, just pick another side pair, GH over KL. All right, so let's go ahead and see how that would look. So go to the notes here on the next page, page 20. says if two triangles are similar, then the lengths of the corresponding altitudes, medians, angle bisectors are proportional to corresponding sides. So the first one says the two triangles are similar. Now, sometimes these are flipped around, and so you have to figure out which one goes with which. So for example, if I start with 16, that is ST, so that's got to go with DE. So DE's over here. So you just got to be careful which one you put with which. So we can go 16 over 20. And then now let's go with the, let's see, what do we have here? The medians. So now we're going to go X, come back to that first triangle, over 15. Okay, so now we just cross multiply and solve. So 16 times 15 equals 20 times X. So then calculate what 16 times 15 is. So we have 240 equals 20x. And then to get x by itself, we can just divide by the 20. X is 12. Okay, you can double check. Does that make sense? Yeah, this triangle was a little bit smaller, so that length should be a little bit smaller than the 15. All right, let's look at the next one. So again, double check which sides go with which. So if I start with the X side here, IH, think, what should that go with on the other shape? So IH is going to go with KL, 14. So go X over 14 equals, now we got the altitudes here. So it's like the height of the triangle. This one's kind of turned around. We got to go back to that first triangle, 10 over 8. So again, we can cross multiply then. 8x equals 10 times 14, 140 divided by 8. 17.5. So you will get some decimals. Also double check that it wanted you to find the variables. I guess it didn't say. But some of the problems on the homework will say like find the side lengths. So you have to plug it back in. All right, here we go. If these are similar, what side should go with what? Okay. So if I start with 38, it really doesn't matter what you start with as long as you put the corresponding sides together. So 38 is A and C. That's got to go with E and F, X. So we go 38 over X equals, now we've got the angle bisector here. Come back to the first one, 32 over 24. Make sure you put that in the right order. If I put 24 over 32, I'll get the wrong answer. So then we can cross multiply and think what's 24 times 38 equal to 32x. So we get 912 equals 32x. Go ahead and solve for that. And then see if you can start setting up that next one. All right, so number 3, it should have been x equals 28.5. Number 4, this one's a little bit hard to see. Sometimes the height of the triangle is on the outside, so it's actually the 12 is the altitude. So if I put altitude over altitude, I'm going to go 12 over 15. Now pick a side pair that goes with both of them. So if I pick PQ, that's got to go with UT. So we go x over 42. Cross multiply and divide. If you can do that all in one step, that's fine with me, as long as you show me the setup. I don't want just a page of answers, but if you can cross multiply and divide and skip writing this step down and just write the answer. 504 divided by 15, 33.6, then that's fine. Okay, double check, does your answer make sense? Yep, should be a little bit smaller than that 42. All right, so that's it for today. Corresponding sides of similar triangles. So let's go ahead and jump to the assignment. This one does have the answers on all the problems except for on the back. I think there's some that don't. But there's my stylus not working. There we go. Let's go ahead and get started with this first one. Now, some of these have some big numbers. That's like the hardest part, but you guys can use a calculator. So it should be no problem. Actually, I wanted to jump to one of these. There we go. Let's jump to number 3. That one has a little bit tougher algebra. All right, so you can take the altitudes, 27. You really don't have to know that it's called the altitude. Just put those corresponding segments together. So 27 over 24 equals 3x plus 21, 3x minus 21, over, and then if you couldn't see if there's a lot going on here, remember you can always look up here WX to see what letters this other one should go with, RS. They only gave us one thing, so it's kind of obvious, but be careful with one like that. They might give you, you might be given more information than you need. All right, so cross multiply, so 27 times x plus 13 equals 24 times 3x minus 21. All right, go ahead and do the algebra. See if you can get your answer to come out to be 19. So a lot of these answers are on there. Just solve it as if they weren't, and then see if you can get it to match. All right, so now we can move that 27x to the other side. So we have 351, what that's supposed to say. 72 minus 27 would be 45x minus 504. Add the 504 to the other side. $855 equals 45x, and then divide by 45. And there we go. We get x equals 19. So get your answer and then check it. Okay? All right, so your assignment is to do the 7.4 part 1 worksheet. It is on page 21 and 22. We have a couple assignments in your packet that we have not checked, so just try to get them, try to get it caught up if you can for tomorrow. All right, have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.